That was The Killers. Somebody told me. Listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. Good morning. I'm here with Matt Morgan. He's in charge of technical things like driving the desk. All right, Matt?
Hello.
Are you doing your radio voice?
Yes.
That's nice. Matt's been having lessons so he can talk more nicely. Also, Trevor Locker's in charge of phone calls and competitions. How are you today, Trevor?
I'm really well. How are you?
I feel all right, actually. I got, like, a slight cold and I feel like I'm a bit distant from the world, but basically I feel quite upbeat and I'm really excited because it's going to be a brilliant show today, right? You know that Noel Gallagher's coming in here for the last hour. That'd be nice.
Very excited. Yeah, that rumour.
We've got, well, it's a true rumour, like, Noel Gallagher's going to be here for the last hour. We've had to take on extra staff just to control his swearing. There's people here particularly into false swear words back down Noel Gallagher's throat. If a swear word comes out, get back down that northern esophagus. So, yeah, he'll be here. We've got Trevor's competition coming up. We've got some great music. I've seen New York Dolls are coming up. Mystery Jets are going to be on in a second. Oh, we might get a phone call from Chris Peck out of Boy Kill Boy.
Chris who?
Chris Peck. I like to call him Chris Peck. I like to stifle his surname.
Yeah, he might call in.
That'd be nice, won't it?
Tomorrow. Boy.
Oh, are you plugging their single?
Well, you know.
Nice, why not, Matt? And also, like, today's topic of discussion, if I may be so bold, is going to be, what have I done to deserve this? You know, something goes wrong in your life, you think, oh, what have I done to deserve this, you might think to yourself, right? Like when, like recently, Wayne Rooney breaking his foot and everything, there was that grimace across his face, that, where you sort of look at it, it makes your stomach turn to watch that look on his face.
More than just, oh, my foot hurts, but
yeah.
All weight of everything, the World Cup, everything.
You think that was visible in his face as he...
It was realisation of, oh no.
Yeah.
What have I done to deserve this?
Or, he might...
What have I done to deserve this?
That's the audio, that's an audio illustration of what Wayne Rooney was thinking. So we want to hear, have there been times in your life, there must have been, mustn't there, where you thought, oh, what have I done to deserve this? You can text us on 64046 or you can email the show at russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. That's if you're thinking, what have I done to deserve this? I'll tell you what we're going to do now. Should we listen to Mystery Jets, You Can't Fool Me, Dennis?
Oh, can you?
I think if I've got that attitude towards Dennis, eventually Dennis is going to fool them. Get in touch with us, 64046, or email us at russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. You can't fool them, Dennis. Mystery Jets, You Can't Fool Me, Dennis. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. Hello, welcome to our show. Oasis star, celebrity face Noel Gallagher's going to turn up in here later. That'd be nice, won't it?
Let's hope he does.
He definitely will. He don't even live that far away from here. We could, like, if he ain't turned up at the allotted time of midday, we'll go and get him.
But it's not that he definitely will. That's half the fun. There's an edge to the man. He might not. He genuinely might not.
Oh, what? So, like,
he's built a reputation on that. The career is founded on his, you know, capriciosity.
And not on his capriciosity. That ain't even a bit of language.
Sorry.
It's founded on him doing them songs, isn't it? One of which we're going to replace it with Sonic a bit later. That'd be nice. We'll have a listen to that. So, what we're talking about until then, don't turn this into some sort of waiting for Godot, or will Noel Gallagher turn up? I like the idea. I like some security in life. Not like the thought that he may come, he may not. That alarms me.
I just think it keeps us on the edge of our seats, that's all.
Yeah.
Puts a bit of jeopardy into the show.
Fair enough, alright then. Maybe Noel Gallagher will come, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be peppering the air with swear words, and maybe he'll be like timid as a lamb. Matthew, so what we were talking about until then, though, is occasions in our lives where we thought, what have I done to deserve this, right, where something's gone terribly wrong. Like, well, what's happened? Trevor, look, what's happened in your life where you thought, what have I done to deserve this?
Numerous occasions. The worst one, I suppose, was involved a vicar and some mice, going back to the mice thing.
Ridiculous. If you listened to the show last week, you'll have heard that Trevor slaughters mice for pleasure.
That's not true. That was a joke that you did last week.
What he does, no, it's based on fact. Trevor, like, kills mice in his house, he drenches himself in mouse blood, decorates his body in mouse skulls, and then screams out to the world, I like it! And now he has the gall to say that mice have been involved somehow in his past.
Well, that's why I've chosen this particular memory, because I thought it goes with the theme, but people realise that it's obviously a joke.
It's not a joke,
It is a joke.
If you think killing animals is a joke...
labelling yourself as a mouse person.
Trevor the mouse lock. What is this affiliation you have with rodents?
It's not. I'm going to choose a different memory then. I'm not going to do
this
the
one.
mice.
Well, no, but the thing is, you're meant to set this up so that people think, oh yeah, that's the sort of thing that happened to me, I'll let them know. But we say, what did you
mouse
say?
and a vicar.
Mouse and a vicar.
So, unless you live in Enid Blyton's imagination, those kind of things don't happen to you. Go on, Trev, what is the story?
Come on, alienate everyone.
All right, so I just like catching little mice when I was a boy.
See,
And I go to the guy,
like
catch them alive though, this is the key.
So then you can watch them squirm,
Oh,
Trev.
stop it. I was an amateur naturalist, and I go into my garden.
Whereas now, as an amateur naturist, he's sat here completely nude, everyone, but for a little mouse pelt.
You can use the webcam and see that I'm fully clothed.
Do use the webcam, actually. You can see us, and if you want, you can text us and say, make Trevor do something, and then me and Matt, by God, we'll make him do it. So go on, let's hear about this mouse anecdote.
I used the Longworth small mammal trap, which is a catch-alive trap.
It shouldn't be. Other mammal traps are available.
Yeah, this is a
Comments, this is
catch-alive
BBC.
trap, and it was used by the Ministry of Agriculture for survey purposes. My father worked for the Ministry of Agriculture, and that's how I first came across this trap. I bought my own one.
Just when I think Trevor can't get any more tedious, he'll come out and say, like, my father used to work for the Ministry of Agriculture. It was a Longworth, Hogworth camel mouse trap. Trevor, will you get on to the meat and bones of this story, which I'm convinced, even though I haven't heard it, is I crunched up a mouse's spine under the sole of my shoe.
That's not nice.
Is this the mouse thinking, what have I done to deserve this? Are you empathising with it?
Yeah, it will be. Listen, well, yes, it works on that level
How
as
can
well.
this be bad for you?
Come on, there's a vicar and a mouse involved. Let's get to it. And then there's going to be a bit where someone, possibly the mouse, thinks, what have I done to deserve this? Because otherwise this jingle's not going to work.
So I catch 2 mice. It was an accident. It was, you know, one of those lucky things.
You were young, you were crazy.
Hey, we've all been there, haven't we? We were only setting out for one mouse, by jingo, we got 2. Trocks away, what it is to be an Englishman, to grow up in the 70s was very heaven. Yeah, the whole Zeppelin thing was happening. Trevor was out catching mice, sometimes 2 a day. Come on, Trevor, what happened?
So I've got 2 long-tailed field mice, and I keep them in a cage that I've specially built.
I keep trying to make it all
You can't build
enthusiastic.
cages.
I can't, that's the problem. Because I also had a fish tank in my bedroom, and during the
This
night...
is just rambling.
During the night, the mice escaped out of my
It's like reading a
house,
serial killer's diary.
and they fell into the fish tank.
And then Trevor fell over and thought, what a lovely story.
That's moving. Trev, I know, come on, let's get to, because I want to know how the vicar gets
So what
involved in
happens
this
is,
rhubarb.
my mum was ill at the time, and the vicar would come round to visit my mum. And sometimes he'd come and visit me, and I was in my bedroom.
Oh, you lived together, didn't you? What kind of atomised family was it? Did you all live in separate caravans? and talk
Knock
to
on
each other
my
over
Trevor
tin
lived in the
cans?
South Tower.
And so what he did, he just sort of knocked. It was like pastoral care. My mum was poorly. He thought, you know, I'll go around and visit the Locke family.
Yeah.
He knocked on my bedroom door, and I hadn't realised that the mice had gone into the fish tank and they'd actually drowned. And he came into my bedroom, and
It's not
he
funny,
saw
I mean,
the
that
mice
must be-
first. He you know.
So he came in and thought, oh, but poor little Trevor, like his mum's not well.
How's
And
it
now
going
he's
at
taken.
school? How is it looking with your mum? And I said, it's fine. And he turned around and he said, oh, you've got some hobbies then. And then there were these
I see you drown mice.
2 mice sort of floating in the tank, drowned. And he saw them, and I saw them, and I had to explain what
What
had
did you
happened.
say?
I said, oh,
Oh yeah, that cleared it up. I imagine
that wasn't meant to happen.
he
That was
probably
an
sank to
accident.
his knees at that point and said, there is no God. You probably made him renounce the clergy. He probably went straight off after that and had it off with someone.
You know, he told me that I should take them out and bury them in the garden.
At very least, give him a Christian burial,
And I
Trevor.
explained to him that I hadn't realised and that I would do that, and that wasn't meant to happen.
And then Trevor thought to himself,
What have I done to deserve this?
the answer to that question is obviously captured and tortured mice. That's what you've done to deserve
It looked bad. It's not what I wanted to do. I liked mice and I cared for animals. And it looked like I was a nasty little kid who enjoys doing bad things to animals.
Strange though, Trev, that was the beginning of a lifetime of torturing mice.
Misunderstood. That's what it's about. I like animals. This is the thing. I
Very
like
easy to
animals
say you
and people
misunderstood, Trev, in life. OK, so shall we listen to Billy Bragg, whose surname now seems like a verb to describe Trevor's attitude towards mice killing. Greetings to the new brunette, it's Billy Bragg, 6 Music. Greetings to the new brunette, Billy Bragg there. You're listening to Russell Brand on 6 Music. We're talking about, well, the sort of general topic heading is, what have I done to deserve this? We're talking about incidents where, oh, what have I done to deserve that? Like Wayne Rooney crunching his foot in. It must have on his face. Clearly, amidst the agony, there was a more existential questioning of what have I done to deserve this? Or Trevor Locke, for example, when the dead mice that he'd drowned were discovered in his aquarium by a vicar, he thought, what have I done to deserve this?
When it looks like you've done something terrible and there's no way of explaining it in that moment. I always find it when I've lost my keys, when I can't get into my house.
You think, what have I done
feel
to deserve
such a-
this?
Yeah.
You feel such a what?
fool. No, I feel so awful that I've lost control of being I should be allowed in my house, but I can't.
Okay, well, what about that occasion, right? Me and Matt was once doing a television programme up in Leeds with a young BNP. It weren't a promotional film. we were against them and their racism. And like, yeah, there's a bit, right, we were staying in a hotel, and Matt, right, was throwing food and stuff out of our hotel window, about on the 10th floor, so throwing peanut jars.
Peanuts and peanut jars?
I think you threw the jar out.
They weren't in a jar.
They were in a jar.
It was a bag of peanuts, and I just started throwing them out the window.
Right, throwing all these things out the window. I think
I'm happy.
Breakfast out the window, stuff like that. I was just trying to live my life. I was a junkie at that time, and my behaviour was impeccable. Right, throwing all these things out, and then the hotel reception phoned up, and security started flurrying around, sort of downstairs, looking up at us. And Matt did actually go, "Why is this happening to us? Why are we being judged in this way?" It's because you've thrown those things out the window. There's a direct corollary. It's not hard. It's not an injustice, for heaven's sake. You know, what have I done to deserve this? Matt thought in that moment.
What have I done to deserve this?
Right, it was ridiculous that he thought that, because months before he'd been throwing peanuts out of a window and thinking to himself, all laughing. What a transition that boy made in that moment. I think we should start using the shorter version of what have I done to deserve this. Here, we've got a text message here from Tim. He goes, "Hello, Russell. I once woke up to find skid marks on the outside front of my boxers. Not what I had in mind when hoping to bed a dirty girl." What have I done to deserve that? From Tim. Okay, I don't... Well, yeah, let's play What Have I Done to Deserve This.
It's the long version.
Okay, well, let's try the long version.
While we try and make sense of that.
Hold on. What had he done to deserve that? Well, Tim, we're going to need to know more about that, mate, because at the moment I think it sounds like a breach of broadcasting law that I've just read out. Once skid marks on the outside of his boxers. We don't know what those skid marks were.
Well, he's saying that they're his from another day. Maybe he's...
I don't know why he had skid marks on the outside of his boxers.
Simple, he's worn them inside out and back to front.
That's a peanut thrower. That's the same thing.
What do you mean? He's brought that upon himself?
And then said, "What have I done to deserve
That's
this?"
more like, in fact, if there was any jingle for it, it should be "You do it to yourself, you do," in pure Radiohead fashion.
Instant karma's going to get you.
Either one of those, we'll try and get them sorted out. We've got some fantastic music coming up on the show today. We've got Noel Gallagher coming for the last hour. Text us your moments of... your epiphanies where you've questioned, what have I done to deserve this? Preferably not like Tim, where you find yourself covered in muck, and it's clear what you've done to deserve this. It's your mucky lifestyle, Tim. You can text us on 64046 or email us at russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. Have a look at us on the webcam as well. Trevor looks particularly alarming today. What are we going to have a listen to now, Matthew?
We're going to listen back to some Killer Keller when he came in.
BBC.
That there is Professional Widow by Tori Amos. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. We're talking about embarrassing things that have happened to us, like Trevor once slaughtered some mice as a child, and little drowned corpses were found face down in his fish tank by a vicar, of all people, to make that discovery. Who's that vicar that solves crime? Father something investigates. Father Downing, is it?
Father Brown.
Father Brown investigates.
Downing.
That's Chesterton. He's a G.K. Chesterton character. I trust you to know a thing like that. And then there's that one, there's a sort of like one played by Walter Matthau, wasn't there? He played a sort of a detective. Matt's looking like, I don't know about vicars that do investigations. Leave it out, son. Right, here's an embarrassing thing that happened to me. It was, right, when I was little, something happened to her. With me and my mum, we grew up just to... Well, she was already grown up. I grew up just with her. And, like, I lost a trainer. Right, this is a tragic story, you know. You're already guffawing at it. I lost one of my trainers. And then, like, I had to go to school the next day, and she made me go to school wearing her trainers. They were pink, and, like, they were the size of a mum's feet. I only had child-sized feet.
What? Did you have another pair of shoes?
No, that's it. That's the tragedy of the story.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, so I had to go to school wearing these pink trainers, right? And I thought I'd be able to overcome this by sort of joking about it and say, oh, they're called Pinky and Perky, and characterise them. But people at school ridiculed me for that, and with some justification. I remember thinking, what have I done to deserve this that day?
What have I done to deserve this?
Embarrassing. That's what I felt to myself. You know, if you've got any incidents along those lines, you know, where you thought, what have I done to deserve this? Why is my life so embarrassing? You can text us or email us. Text us on 64046 or email the show at russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. What embarrassing things have happened to you? What had you done to deserve this? What are we going to listen to now, Matt Morgan?
The Barclays with Soul Finger.
Nice. That's the Cardigans, Love Fool. You listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. We're talking about what have we done to deserve this when embarrassing or an awkward thing.
What have we done to deserve the temperature in this studio, Russell?
What's happened is when we came in, like, it was Natasha must have it really ice cool in here. It was actually
it was just a normal, cool room.
Yeah, and I
I can't work like this.
I didn't say that. I didn't have a big tantrum, but I did go up to the
controls.
The controls, yes, and started jabbing at it and made it all really unbearably hot. Now we're sort of we're lazing about like South Americans. We need to have a siesta now. I can't cope with this. Too much pressure. I do like it to be warm. Matt thinks that my house is like an old folks' home because
It's ridiculous.
It is, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's designed.
Every time I go there, I open the door and have to stand in the garden.
You do until you learn your lesson. Come round in lingerie.
It's designed so that the only natural response is to take your clothes off. That's why he keeps it in that climate.
I like people to be nude when they're down my house.
Yeah.
Keeps you more relaxed. Also, though, I do have the telly up really loud like an old person as well.
It's ridiculous.
To drown out the screams.
There's no screams going on. It's not me that stamps mice to death as an hobby. Now, we've got a text message here. It's from Pete, the bedroom man. We like that. Pete, the bedroom man, is...
around last week.
He's a friend of the show. It's Pete, Pete's wife believes herself to be a guest host on this show.
Where's Minty?
Where's Minty? We want Minty to come back. Oh, Minty's contacted us. Minty, who I fell in love with a little bit. Matt, you loved her as well, though.
I know.
But this girl Minty sends us text messages as well. Do you love her, Trev?
I do, but I think she's taken a blighty one.
What do you mean a blighty one?
I think she's, had a shrapnel wound that's going to bring her home.
Blimey, a blighty one, that's what you call a wound that's going to bring you home.
Yeah.
You'd know about that, Trevor.
Is that real, or...?
That is real. No, I don't know
like
Minty well enough to know
and
that.
duck boards.
Yes, exactly.
It's correct. Yeah. I bet you read a lot of Siegfried Sassoon and Wilfred Owen, sit about all wistful, didn't you?
I do,
A little piece of England. Yeah. So anyway, let's read out this from Pete the bedroom man, which is a confident thing to call yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, but doesn't that mean it's his job? Like he's a carpenter?
No, I think he means he's... What do you mean, carpenter? Like he builds bedrooms?
Because it's a bit euphemistic. You might as well say Pete the sex man.
Well, let's wait for his next text. Perhaps it will say that. Working in a client's house and having to get home for my wife to go to work. There you go. The client was
Working
also...
in a client's house, he installs bedrooms, I bet you.
Hold on, let's work this out. Working in a client's house and having to get home for my wife to go to work, the client was also going out, said, just shut the door after you. When it came to time to leave, I was chased back up the stairs by a large Rottweiler who kept me there until the owner returned home a few hours later. No mobiles in those days, in the doghouse with my wife. Pete, the bedroom man, and in an actual house with a dog as well.
That's my nightmare. I'm scared of dogs.
Why are you so scared of dogs for? What have you done to them?
I was attacked by an Alsatian as a boy. And I think I was scared of him before that anyway. I just don't understand them. Never had a pet. I don't understand them when they're happy, or people go, oh, he's alright, he likes playing, and I just don't understand him.
Yeah, you don't understand the language, whereas me, I'm a bit like Dr. Dolittle, I'm in touch with him. Right, now listen, what I think about Pete the bedroom man's text is that he'd been having an affair, and he's using this Rottweiler ruse to cover it up. He goes,
if you were having an affair with someone, you'd know they had a Rottweiler downstairs.
No, I think he was having an affair, right, and there's no Rottweiler involved at all. The Rottweiler is a confection of his imagination.
What if his wife's listening?
Oh,
That's the whole idea. He hopes that she's going to listen and then find out.
But surely if he's calling himself Pete the bedroom man, she might have an inkling.
She might say, Pete, how did you get this bedroom man handle?
I'd certainly not put it about.
I think you're a terrible lover. Pete, get in touch with us, because we want to know why on earth you're treating your wife in this appalling fashion and exposing her on air and everything. Where's my anecdote? Oh yeah, I've got another what have I done to deserve this anecdote. Oh, he's hot in here, isn't it? Well, I wonder if he's going to get... Yeah, Pete the bedroom man must have thought when he was pinned in that room against his lover, stroke Rottweiler.
What have I done to deserve this?
Well, obviously betrayed your wife is what you've done to deserve that, Pete the bedroom man. So, like, me, right, I once had this incident where I was involved with this girl. She was German. She was a lap dancer, as I recall. Nice, attractive girl. We was having a bit of how's your father monkey business, and then an argument ensued. And I said, look, you're going to have to leave here. She gathered up her clothes all loudly, and was making her way out of the house. And I was
loudly? What was she, a one-man band?
She had to get her cymbals, her trumpets, her what's name, and her papa. Gathered all them up together, and sort of as I was sort of going, leave the house forever, right? I did it dead emphatically, and I was nude. I had no clothes on. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. My flatmate Dan was away in another country. Goes, leave this house. Be off with you, woman. Right? And as I did that emphatically, I was like, I'd gone outside the house, and the door closed behind me, and I was locked outside my house naked. And like I thought, oh no, what have I done to deserve this? Right? I did think that. And like, she, though, the only person that was there that could help me, I'd just upset. So, like, I could borrow your mobile, please, because I'm locked out of my house and I'm nude. And she said, I'm not going to help you. You've treated me very badly.
Is this when you lived in that church flat?
That's right, I lived in that church flat. It was a converted church flat. So then, yeah, and I'd say the only person that was likely to be able to help me was like one of Trevor's parsons. It's like some ridiculous Agatha Christie character. Right, and then she stormed off and left me, and all there was to protect my dignity was like a pink umbrella. So I had to open up this pink umbrella, put it between my legs and go downstairs.
How is everything that you have to rely on in these situations pink? Like your mum's shoes, this umbrella?
I think, how come I'm always having to rely on pink things? Because there's another thing that's pink that's also always getting me in little adventures of trouble. I have a little pink fella leading me through life by the nose.
Okay, let's not talk about that mouse again.
So I had to go downstairs with just this pink umbrella between my legs, all like, you know, like extended pink umbrella covering
Did you
me.
enjoy that a bit? Because I reckon if I'd discard the umbrella and tear off some wallpaper and use that before I used the umbrella.
I just thought it was the only thing there, and I was aware that this is making this a better anecdote. I was thinking, this pink umbrella is definitely adding to this situation. I went downstairs, and there was a bar downstairs, really late, and the bar was open, and the woman came out to change barrels. I goes, oh, could you help me, please, love? And she, actually, she goes, she looked at me and went, is there anything I can do for you? I goes, yeah, you know, I'm nude, it's the middle of the night, all I've got is this pink umbrella.
What have I done to deserve this?
Can you help me? And she said, yeah, all right, I'll help you. And then she came, like, went away for about an hour, and that seems a long time when you just got a pink
Wasn't
umbrella.
an hour,
Half hour. Right, and she came back again, and I goes, did you do anything on me? She goes, no, I forgot all about you. And then she goes, you can, and then she went into the, like, round by the cellar, there was this old pair of big chef's trousers, great big, like, comical clown buffoon
Wasn't
trousers.
that club a gay club as well, I seem to remember?
Yeah, I put on those chef's trousers, she goes, you can come in and use the phone. I put on the chef's trousers, went in, I had the pink umbrella over my shoulder.
You didn't need that then. You didn't need the umbrella then.
What are they going to do? Just abandon it? I went there, the chef trousers looked like they could have another person in them, and I went in there to use the phone, and it was gay night, and they thought I was there to do a striptease. The only way I could get out of there was by doing a dance to YMCA.
That's quite bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a very difficult evening. I thought, you know.
What have I done to deserve this?
But anyway, I brought it on myself by not having a proper marriage or something. Good morning. I once broke my... This is from China, or Cena, I reckon, in Wiltshire. She goes, I once broke my knee in 2 places when I was trying to get a goat to the top of a climbing frame. Right, immediately, why has a goat got to go to the top of a climbing frame? I was nearly at the top and had hold of the goat's front hoof when my foot got stuck between 2 rungs and I slipped. So desperate was I to save the goat. She wants credit now for trying to save a goat that she's marched to the top of a climbing frame like a lunatic grand old Duke of York. I swang with a pendulous effect, still grasping its hoof, and smashed my kneecap apart. The story was so ridiculous that the local authorities were watching my parents for years. From Chino in Wiltshire. I need to know more about that. Do you think that's true?
I think it's true, but why do you need to get a goat to a real goat?
Sounds like a real goat, yeah.
Maybe she was a child and she was playing with a goat and,
yeah.
It was just a...
Yeah, well,
I think it's something to do with Heidi. Probably she's seen Heidi, and goats are a bit romanticised in Heidi.
They romanticised goats today, Trev.
Peter the goat herd.
I don't think they romanticised the goats. I don't think they say, perhaps you'd like to go out with a goat, why don't you put a bonnet on it and make it your bride?
Well, sort of, you know, high on the hill was a lonely goat herd, yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
Trevor.
That's a nice, you know.
It's a ridiculous way to think of goats. Okay, right, so yeah, send us your embarrassing incidents and your misuse of goats and that. And then we're going to go hear a nice anecdote from Matt, but let's listen to Niles Barkley first, shall we?
Let's do it.
That's Health and Ag by John Cooper Clarke there. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. He opened for the Arctic Monkeys at Brixton, didn't he, John Cooper Clarke?
Yes.
He did. He did, Matthew, yeah, he did. And I was sort of thinking, then I can see what they would have liked, that lyrical nature of his work.
It's funny that, wasn't it? There's a bit where he was just coughing.
Was there a bit where he was
In
just
this
coughing?
Song, yeah, coughing.
Perhaps I was coughing during that bit and just, you know, didn't notice it. Now, we're talking about embarrassing incidents that we've all endured in life, and we've got Dan on the line from Brighton. All right, Dan.
Hello there.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Now, what was this, what have I done to deserve this incident that came into your life, mate?
Well, I was working with my ex-boss.
Is your ex-boss now, is he?
Yeah, my ex-boss. That probably tells you something about the story here.
Yes.
And, we were working in a sort of particularly big house in Holland Park in London.
Nice.
We were fitting some mirror balls as part of a big, highly elaborate hi-fi system in someone's swimming pool.
So, blimey, they're living in luxury. They had mirror balls and a swimming pool.
Is this a person you could name?
Yeah, this is it. Yes.
Who was it? Scarface?
Pardon?
Whose house was it? Tony Montana, Scarface. It's a big opulent luxury pad, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Who was it?
That sort of thing. And
He never
so
tells.
I was sort of putting these mirror balls onto the motor, which makes them spin round, makes it that nice.
I thought they just did that on their own.
No, there's a motor that they're attached to on a chain.
Right.
And I thought the mirror ball was going onto the chain, but it was sort of coming off the chain.
Uh-oh.
And you can imagine what's happening next. My boss was holding a ladder at the bottom of the swimming pool, which was empty.
Yeah.
Imagine. And we had all the very important sort of like site managers and the customer and everyone sort of watching us.
Well, everyone was watching thinking, oh, this is going well, this mirror ball. Our pool parties will be the toast of Holland Park.
Exactly, yes. This is it, yeah. And I probably thought, this is going to be fantastic. And, the sort of thing sort of, I kind of dropped it and then looked down as my boss was sort of chatting to the customer.
Yeah.
And sort of like hit him square on the head.
I bet he thought to himself,
What have I done to deserve this?
how terrible that happened to him, because it's like an episode of Fools and Horses, that is. The chandelier one.
Yeah, it was, and I must admit, it took about a year for me to sort of laugh about it, because it was one
You
of those
vindictive man, Dan.
it was more embarrassing at the time than it was funny. And all my sort of like, all the fellas at work, I didn't tell any of them because I just felt like a bit of a fool, and,
So you really enjoyed that happening and felt like, and probably your reaction, while your boss was thinking, what have I done to deserve this, you were probably thinking, I like it, and went on to laugh about it for a year, Dan.
Well,
No, he said it took a
a
year.
little while, but it has become one of my sort of favourite stories, really.
It's quite nice.
It creeps out now and again. I don't tell everybody every day.
Well, now you've broadcast it to all of us. Matt, what
Oh,
are you...
yeah, this is it, yeah.
Matt wants to ask you
Two
something.
things. I was wondering how high the mirror ball fell, and also, what are those mirror balls made of?
Why are those mirror balls?
Made of? What's inside? There's the glass
inside.
bit.
I'm not sure, actually. But
Is it heavy?
I should have taken a closer look when some of the mirror sort of part of it fell off when it hit the bottom of the pool. My
But
boss
you-
was scrabbling around on the floor trying to pick them up.
He was scrapping around, he should have been
Scrapping around.
looking after his mind.
Are they heavy?
Well, I think it was more the shock of it, really, and he was worried that it had damaged their swimming pool more than his head.
More than his own skull, bless him. He comes out of this story very well, Dan, whereas you look, quite frankly, a bit cruel. The mirror ball, is it heavy to hold the mirror ball?
No, it's a very lightweight thing. I think it's just like a plastic...
So it might just be plastic or something inside
Polystyrene,
it.
yeah.
Polystyrene.
Maybe air, really, when it comes to it.
It can't be very nice to
Well,
have
I
it.
really thought they were really heavy.
You thought they were concrete? I know, whenever I'm walking under one in the club, I feel a bit anxious that it might come down on me.
Me too.
Well, you should feel anxious if you're walking below me when I'm fitting one.
Dan, if I'm ever anywhere near you and a ladder, I will scurry for the hills. The very thought terrifies me. Dan, thank you very much for your time. It's lovely talking to you.
My pleasure.
We're going to dedicate this Camera Obscura track to you. Lloyd, I'm ready to be heartbroken.
That's good. I really like this one.
Do you, mate? Well, let's dedicate it to you and your poor concussed boss. Take it easy, Dan. Thanks for your time,
Ex-boss,
man. Ex-boss, naturally.
Right.
I love the sound of broken glass. That's Nick Lowe. That's Apposite. Will you listen to Russell Brand on Six Music? It's Apposite retrospectively because of that mirror ball story from Dan smashing that mirror ball in his boss's skull, then laughing about it for 1 year
No, he said
constantly.
it took me a year to be able to laugh about it.
Oh, it took him a
To
year?
his defence,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I thought you said it took him a year to stop
I
laughing.
think it was to stop
Oh,
laughing,
really?
yes.
Matt.
See, I'm just a nice
Mark,
person.
whose side are you on, Matt?
going with Dan. It said it took him a year before he could laugh about
A year before he could laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dan's less vindictive. Okay, but then this broken glass theme that Nick Lowe has set up is also embellished upon by what Trev's going to read out, I do believe.
This is an anonymous man, and you can see why he's anonymous, because it says this. I got out of the bath to moon my mate's sister.
Disgusting.
Yeah. She was spraying the garden hose through the window.
Disgusting.
So, having climbed up on the sink, stark naked,
Disgusting!
I bent forward
Repugnantia.
and smashed my butt straight through the glass.
What have I done to deserve this?
A simple error of judgment that found me in casualty at the local hospital, thinking...
What have I done to deserve this?
Well, it's clear he doesn't deserve this. I think the problem began when he started mooning his mate's sister
However,
out of
she
the window.
started it.
Well, she started it, but there's something unclear, because apparently he mooned by leaning forward. How do you... if his bottom's on the right
think-
place,
hold on.
you
You
won't
mean he's
lean
leaning
forward.
backward?
He must lean, yeah.
Yeah, but your head's going forwards, isn't it? Your head leans forward and your bum goes
yeah,
backwards.
right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
how we all moon people.
My bum went through a restaurant window once, and
Why?
I had to go with the police
Why did your bum go through a restaurant window?
because I was on my mate's back, and he was giving
Why
me
were
a
you on your
piggyback,
mate's
and
back?
we were running down the
Giving
road.
you a piggyback.
Yeah.
How old were you?
We were at university, and that was the kind of thing we did.
Blimey.
Then we were going along the road, and then there's all these people in the restaurant,
Yeah.
and I said, well, I think he backed me up and went, go on, moon them. but I didn't pull my trousers down, but we backed up. My bum hit the window, smashed it. I nearly fell into, like, a big, huge pane of glass, nearly fell backwards into the glass. And then all the people came out with big, long knives. Not the people, people who worked there. Like, you know, like
was it a meeting of triads that you'd interrupted?
Something going on. Saracens came out and chased us off. And then the police came because it was reported as a racist attack, which it obviously wasn't. It was just...
Why did it look like a... How did it have the appearance of a racist attack?
Some blokes came up and smashed our window.
Oh, it was a Chinese restaurant?
No, it was an Indian restaurant.
Alright. Really?
Yeah, and then the night to go with the police and...
So it wasn't a racist attack, it was just you weren't even trying to do any sort of attack.
Of any kind.
You were just trying to show the world your bum.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lesson for us all there, Matthew. You know, people misinterpret things. Here, what we've got, like, you know, Pete, the bedroom man, his wife is called Wendy from the Borough. She writes, he was dipping his screwdriver last week, didn't believe it for 1 minute. He likes to think of himself as a joiner, bedroom fitter, but gives a ready-made excuse for that carry-on moment. Wendy, the gullible wife in the Borough. Oh, she's reproaching herself now. That marriage is disintegrating.
Right, he's a bedroom fitter. Everyone else thought it was a boast.
Fair enough.
Well, why is she in the Borough? What does that mean?
Middlesbrough. That's not a euphemism either. She's not referring to being particularly fertile. It's not like a trench of fertility that she carries around with her.
Something to do with rabbits. She's a bit of a bunny or something.
No, it's not Borough. It's Borough.
Middlesbrough.
Well, I thought it was either that or something to do with Tolkien. You know, like the Shire. She's from the Borough or something.
Oh, for God's sake, Trev.
God.
What's
But
wrong
it's
with
actually
this
she's from the borough of Middlesbrough.
We're going to make you tell a story about that pike in a minute, Trevor. Probably people that were listening at the beginning have probably forgotten how much you hate animals. We'll bring that back right up to the surface again in a minute. It's Sina. Right, we've got another, remember Sina, the goat girl?
Yeah.
Like, well, she's not part goat or anything, but she sent us that thing about taking a goat to a climbing frame and it baffled us. She has elaborated. It was a real goat, but the climbing frame was actually a fortress made from pallets by my dad. I was going to have a picnic of Marmite sandwiches, other sandwiches are available, at the top, and wanted some company. That's all. I did nothing to deserve it, and in big time pain. Love from Sina, pronounced like Tina with a C. Sina, have a nice day. What's she done to deserve that? Then also she adds, rub an ice cube on your chakras and you will be cool for the rest of the show. That's nice, isn't it?
Where are our chakras?
They're up and down our little bodies.
All over the place,
Trevor keeps his in the most unmentionable of places, as you can imagine. Then Minty has emailed us. Minty's alive! Oh, thank heavens. News from the front. 'Tis Minty Kalukale. She says, morning. Russell, the story you told about the pink oversized trainers nearly drove me to tears. Your rhubarb is making me crumble. I have the opposite problem. I want pink trainers that light up when I saunter along, but the biggest size they do is 1. But my whole life consists of what have I done to deserve this incident, but before I open the vaults, I thought I'd hold back to see what tone the show has taken. What have I done to deserve Trevor mocking me? Don't make fun of my caliper heel. I'm proud of my war wounds. That better not be a euphemism. Stop mocking Minty, Trevor.
I'm not mocking her. I'm proud of her war wounds. That's the best bit about her.
Minty is mine.
She's bonkers.
Minty is bonkers. She's a sweetheart. She's the Vera Lynn of this radio show, ain't she?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've narrowed it down to 2 stories that I can share with you. The one where I got bit by a lion. Should be bitten, darling. Or the one where I met my childhood hero, Bungle from the Rainbow. Which one do you want? Which one do we want?
Bungle.
No, because that's just normal, but being bitten by a lion.
But meeting Bungle?
That's not normal. Did you meet Bungle?
Did you meet Bungle? Has anyone else met
you
Bungle?
bitten by
It's the
Bungle?
man in a bear suit. A lion's a real lion.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
It might not have been. It could have been Aslan from Lion Witch's
Being bitten by a
Wardrobe.
lion normally means you're a bit mad and you've gone to the zoo.
How she got near that lion? I want both. Minty, send us both. We need to know both. We can't decide. We need to know both. Okay, let's have... Oh, Graham Coxon.
Your
Graham
favourite.
Coxon. I love Graham Coxon.
Let's have a listen.
You and I, Graham Coxon. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. Good old Graham Coxon. I like him. I'm on Jonathan Ross next week, next Friday night, and Graham Coxon's going to be on it performing. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
So he won't be in that green room bit?
I think he will be, because I think the band are in the green room bit. We've met Graham a few times, He's dead nice,
Nice, isn't he? It's a bit like Frank Spencer in his mannerisms.
We really think we've got a bit effete, delicate.
Yeah.
He dresses like Clive Dunn, though, doesn't he?
He dresses like Clive Dunn.
Last time we saw him, he was dressed as a communist soldier.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Dad's army.
Oh, I was thinking of Grandad.
Clive Dunn.
No, he doesn't dress like Grandad. Not yet.
I liked old Grandad. That was good, that programme, wasn't it? It was a sitcom for us kids, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, it was. We enjoyed that. Okay, so we've got to wrap up this What Have I Done to Deserve This rhubarb a little bit quick smart. Well, we said we'll read out Minnie's yarn whenever that turns up. This is from Susie. She goes, I went to a really strict grammar school in Wales. Once a week we had domestic science and had to take in a clean, white, starched apron. I was really embarrassed in front of the class when I opened my nice, clean apron to find I'd bought a pillowcase by mistake. I had to stand in front of the class as punishment while the other kids cooked their stuffed baked apples, and I thought... Also, in primary school, I was too scared to ask if I could go to the toilet and weed all over myself and the teacher. I had to stand in front of the fire, holding my knickers up to dry, thinking... I'm not surprised. It matters.
On the teacher as well.
Well, I suppose the wee was coming out, the teacher stepped in.
The teacher probably picked her up and went, oh no, not here.
I was always too scared to wee on my teacher, but...
You were too scared to wee on your teacher?
Yeah, I just went to the toilet.
You're probably too busy weeing all over rodents.
Have you
said, I'm your master.
Have you ever been to a primary school as an adult? Their toilets are ridiculous.
They're tiny, aren't they?
They're like little toilets. Can you imagine?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Everything's so low down. Going back to last week, I really like trying to spot the satellite dish at Jodrell Bank when driving to Wales on the M56. It gives me a real buzz when I see it depends which way the dish is pointing. I look at it and I think... She doesn't think that. She thinks, I like it, Matt. You're just completely out of touch. Jesus, you're not listening to what's going on. It's terrible. I don't like it. It's the kind of bungling amateurism that has no place on the BBC. Matt, what was you going to say about lashing out at your siblings as an infant?
No, well, it wasn't like I kicked my sister once, but she was older.
Why?
It was a fight. Anything goes. She used to use her fingernails. It was hair pulling. It was, kids fighting. And then I kicked her, and then it was at that point, I think my dad came in and saw that.
He saw the kick.
And he made me...
Did you not try and justify yourself going, she pinched me first?
Yeah, there was a lot of that
crying
going
voice.
On. And he said, no, you're going to be punished. No, here we go. And then he made me... We had these big bits of paper that we used to draw on. Yeah. And he made a sandwich board out of that and sellotape and wrote on both sides of it, I kick girls.
But he was writing that from your perspective, because he obviously didn't kick girls, because otherwise he wouldn't be so
There was a
damning
moment where it looked like a huge...
confession. I kick girls. There, I want the world to know.
That's where you get it from, son.
But then, so he made me wear that and stand out on the main road. And but the weird thing was, I was embarrassed, obviously, and there was nowhere to turn, and I couldn't go back in the house. I did think, I'll walk off.
Did people pip their horns in support?
People did.
Yeah.
Cars went past, yeah!
Me too!
They tossed money at you.
There was no money, but there was a sort of... People slowed down, read it, and then went, yeah, and bibbed.
Really?
Yes, that would never happen now.
What do you mean that'd never happen now?
Well, it would
happen worse.
You wouldn't get public support.
They'd offer me a ride somewhere. They'd probably say, join our gang.
You'd be made mayor.
No.
All right. Trevor, let's start. Trevor, it's time for Trevor's competition now. Trevor, where's Trevor's jingle that he uses to publicise his competition? Let's have a listen to that, because every week we do a competition where Trevor uses sound effects to portray a popular song. We have to listen to these sound effects and then guess what that song is. Trevor's jingle goes thusly.
It's Trevor's Sonic Enigma.
There it is. Trevor, are you proud of that jingle?
I am. Yeah, I think it's a little bit grandiose, but...
You're a grandiose man.
I'm not a grandiose man, I'm a humble man, and it's got good production values, that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it has got good production values. Matt, I think, has made an alternative for Trevor's competition.
Trevor, listen, Trev.
Yes.
Trevor's made a complicated, impenetrable, confusing and ill-thought-out noise.
That's a bit more like it, Trev. So let's have a listen then to... What you've got to do is listen to these sound effects. Will you explain it, Trev? It's your contest.
Well, it's very simple. Listen to the clues, the sound effects, the voices, there's a clue, a sonic clue.
Meaningless drivel.
It's not meaningless, there is a meaning. If you can decipher the meaning, come up with a well-known popular song title, you'll win a prize.
Wow, that's exciting.
Really?
I think you might win a prize, if not...
Have you bought that Bob Dylan track yet for that person, Matt?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
No, you haven't, have you?
I have.
He's bought it.
Highway 61 Revisited.
Have you given
Where
it
is
to him?
it?
It's in my house.
You've not bought it. It's a total lie. He's not bought it. And when he said, I'll buy it, I go, so he won't buy it because we offered it as a competition for a prize. Matt never bought it for anyone.
No, there was a confusing mistake, and well, I was being handed something, and I thought I was meant to add that to the prizes.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, and you win Bob Dylan," and then
But we was just going to play that track, weren't we?
I will bring that in.
Yeah. So he hasn't bought it. Now he just compounded that lie by telling another lie. Okay, so let's listen to Trevor's competition while Matt muddies the air with treachery.
Right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't see a thing. Ow!
Who are you? I am Sir Reginald Shoe Feet Nipple Horse. Oh, stop winking at me. I'm not winking at you, I can't help it. Oh, you're hideous. I am not hideous. My mother was a spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon keep an eye on your girlfriend.
Trevor, that goes on for about a month.
But it's got longer, it's got more obscure and
22
confusing.
seconds. He was told 10 seconds.
10 seconds, Trev.
That's the production. That's not me. I mean, I just write the scripts and deliver the
22 seconds. Well, I
performance.
can't bear to ever listen to that again. I don't know what on earth you're talking about. I am Sir Reginald Shoehorn. It's just blithering rubbish. If that was an Edward Lear poem, Edward Lear would be put in an asylum immediately for drivel. It's nonsense, Trev.
So we have to play that multiple times, and that's going to take up about an hour of the
I'm
show.
sorry. I
We're
apologise.
going to have to give over the whole show to that. Well, we'll have to talk in and out of that thing. Right, so what you've got to do is listen to that baffling quagmire of nonsense and see if you can work out what song that's supposed to be.
And the derisive sniggering wasn't part of it. That was just me doing it live at Trevor's efforts.
Let's have another listen, shall we?
So, go on then. See you on the other side.
Oh, blimey. That's a horse noise.
I can't see a thing. Ow.
It's dark.
Who are you? What's that? I am Sir Reginald Shoe Feet Nipple Horse.
That's ridiculous, that Leonard Rossiter bit.
I'm not winking at you, I can't help it. Oh, you're hideous. I am not hideous. My mother was a spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon keep an eye on your girlfriend.
What a lot of rubbish.
Why did you judge that? Why did you jump in with both feet in a negative way?
Because
You can't explain every single bit of that because
I can't explain every single bit of that. I can't.
What?
I got a little bit confused doing it this time.
What?
I was low on blood
Every
sugar.
week it's been nonsense, Trevor, and this
hasn't
week
been
even
nonsense.
you're confused.
Every week it's been absolutely down to the last little syllable, but this week I was a little bit...
All right, listen, I think we should play Holiday by Green Day and we'll just try and pick our way through this so at least me and Matt can understand it and we can try and offer up some clues. If you know what that track is, then you're probably phoning us from Broadmoor. Let's listen to Green Day. Maybe someday, the Ordinary Boys there. You listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. Do you like the Ordinary Boys, Trev?
I don't really have an opinion one way or the other.
Really? That's interesting. That was no opinion at all coming out of your mouth just then, was it? Now, we've got some interesting things coming over the next half hour. Chris Peck from Boy Kill Boy is going to be on the phone and see. We'll have a little chat to him. We've got music from Primal Scream, The Deers, Oasis. And then for the final hour, Noel Gallagher is coming in here. You can text us if you've got any questions for Noel or if you want to have a go at Trevor's competition. We'll play that again. Blimey, it's baffling.
Not have a go at it, just have a go at it.
Have a go at trying to work it out, yeah, but it's a ridiculous conundrum. You can text us on 64046 or you can email the show via russell.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk. There'll be more from Minty, more from Trevor Locke about cruelty, more from Wendy and Pete the Bedroom Man's family. That's all coming up. We've got all sorts of exciting stuff. Text us any questions for Noel Gallagher, text us any entries to that competition, but we're going to have some news now.
Yep, that's
things that have just happened. Let's have a listen to the news. R.E.M. Don't Go Back to Rockville. You listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. We've been doing Trevor's competition. Trevor done a noise. Let's do your jingle match.
I think it might be...
Is it even here?
It's not actually.
Oh, for God's sake, don't bother with it.
No, I've got it. Let's have it.
Trevor's made a complicated, impenetrable, confusing and ill-thought-out noise.
Now that jingle sums up the racket that you're about to endure. See if you can work out what song this is from this cacophony. Have a listen to Trev's competition.
Oh, I can't see a thing. Ow. Who are you? I am Sir Reginald Shoe Feet Nipple Horse. Oh, stop winking at me. I'm not winking at you, I can't help it. Oh, you're hideous. I am not hideous. My mother was a spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon keep an eye on your girlfriend.
Stick with me, we'll soon keep an eye on your girlfriend. I think the most baffling bit is, I am Sir Reginald Shoe, that Leonard Rossiter bit that you do, Trev.
Yeah.
It's despicable.
Yeah, that was an ad-lib, really. I got confused.
Don't put ad-libs out.
You can't ad-lib. Every word's meant to make sense.
I know, there was a limited time to record this. We were recording it under pressure, and I...
What sort of pressure? A gunman came in?
There was no gunman, but...
I wish there had been, Trev.
I hadn't had my lunch, and I'd had an early breakfast, so I was a little bit low on blood sugar. And
that's the result, is it? Mm-hmm. This ranting. Trev, all right, let's talk through it, because we want people to... you can text us if you think you know what that song is. Text us on 64046 or email the show at russell.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk. The prize will be, you can come in next week and there'll be loads of CDs and stuff like that. You can come in and hang out with us if you want. You know, it'll be a right laugh. We're talking to Chris Peck a bit later, Noel Gallagher's coming on the show a little bit later. But now, Trevor, try and talk us through what on earth you mean by this. Let's listen to it.
So if I play it and then you
we'll
speak
talk over it.
Okay.
Come on in, let's listen.
I can't see a thing. There's atmospheric clues there. There's a time of day.
What's that noise?
I am Sir Reginald Shoe Feet.
He's a sir,
Nipple
isn't he?
Horse.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, stop winking at me. I'm not
Why is he
winking at you. I
winking
can't
at you?
help it.
Why would he be
you're
winking at you?
hideous.
Why would he be
I
hideous?
am not hideous. My mother was a spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon
what
keep
do
an eye on your
spiders have a lot
girlfriend.
of?
Legs. Because the spiders have a lot of legs. This man is Sir, so he's a knight. Is that what you're saying?
Don't give it away.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, listen, you won't be able to get the answer from that rubbish. You have to pin him down. I wish there was a gunman to get him to yield the answer to that lunacy. If you think you know the answer, 64046, that's for text. Email the show, russell.6music, hold on a minute, russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. Matt, what text message have you got, mate?
I've got one here from Gemma, who says that I don't get this. She woke up naked on a tour bus in Bolton with the worst hangover in my life. What did I do to deserve that?
Well, she drank too
surely-
much.
Yes, it's quite clear.
Who's
Yeah,
tour
on a
bus?
tour, exactly.
Yeah, what kind of Gemma? Come on, dear. And what have we got? We've got an email from the Pete the Bedroom family. Here it is. It says, you know, like Wendy from the Borough and Pete the Bedroom Man. It says here, this is from Nico, Pete the Bedroom Man and Wendy's daughter. They're all in the Borough. She says, one summer the sole on a shoe had come away, so my dad had super glued it back together and left it on my rocking horse to dry in the sun. Right?
We're better.
We're better than the rocking horse. We're more surreal and bizarre. And immediately popped it on a ghost train so that the rotation of the ghost train would dry it off. I then wanted to go on my rocking horse, so I moved the shoe, not realising a bit of glue had leaked out from the shoe and ended up gluing me to the rocking horse.
Oh, no.
That's a nightmare, isn't it, to be on a rocking horse and, like, you think, oh, I've enjoyed this rocking, but now it's time to leave. And then you're stuck there forever.
Oh, that's like that short story by somebody, isn't it? Where the kid goes on the rocking horse and he can predict the
Well, it
the
is
outcome of-
similar. 'Cause, I mean, a kid goes
Very
on a rocking
similar.
horse.
But he's stuck there.
So similar that I don't think this story exists. It's just you being a loony. I bet as Nico was on that rocking horse, she thought to herself, and the answer to that is nothing at all, because it's Pete the Bedroom Man who makes bedrooms for a living. Certainly isn't having How's Your Father for a living, unless trouble in that Rottweiler counts. He should know how to use a tube of glue, shouldn't he?
Do you think if you were glued to that rocking horse, you'd spend some time rocking back and forth thinking, I know this doesn't work, but it might move if I keep doing this really hard?
What, that you may rock yourself free?
Yeah.
Hey, let's rock for freedom, yeah?
Yeah.
On the horse. I don't know. I mean, I suppose so. You'll just try and make the best of it. Yeah, so if you know the answer to Trevor's sonic enigma, or Trevor made an impenetrable noise, text us on 64046 or email us at russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. Minty still hasn't told us about being bitten by that lion and bungle and all that stuff. I really wanted to know about both of those. Where is Minty?
Hello, Minty.
I do hope she ain't been claimed by the Luftwaffe. I do hope she ain't got into some terrible bother. Oh, crikey. Minty, do get in touch. Should we listen to Primal Scream, Country Girl?
Country Girl, yeah.
I like the video of that. I like the woman in it.
Okay.
Fair enough. Country Girl, Primal Scream, you listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. What have we done to deserve this? When I was 19, I saw Bodger and Badger, and as they signed my pants, I was squeezing Badger's nose, whence upon he dropped his pen and bit me. Yeah, well, that's unprofessional, isn't
That's
it?
what happens when you meet celebrities in real life.
They can never live up to it. I always liked Bodger and Badger, but it turns out there was a dark side to
He
them.
can't have any nerve endings in his nose because it's a costume. Why did he care?
Yeah.
I think he's teaching a child a valuable lesson. Don't tweak animals. That's not nice to go.
Trevor, if anyone here should be
I'm an
understanding
animal
about
lover.
animal abuse, it's you, a man who prides himself on slaughtering mice in multitudinous numbers.
Did he
each
squeeze the
week.
Badger's nose or Bodger? Bodger's a man.
Bodger's the man, Badger's the puppet Badger. And I think either way, I think I think that actually the person who sent this text was 19 at the time that they did that, so
Well, you know, you should be over that by that age.
oh yeah, I suppose so. We've got another message. It's from Stan from California. When I was in the 6th grade, I played the violin in my class's music band. One day during practice, the headmaster lady, mistress that is, that headmaster lady character who will stagger around the place, walked in to do one of those just having a look rounds that they do. This person's like an alien at school. Everything seems bad. The headmaster lady, one of those walk rounds they do. And then she walked towards me as I was about to scoot past the violin section when my bow, in mid-arco, went straight up and poked her in the tush. She did a tush, that's American for bow, eh?
Yep.
She did a slight shrill and turned and gave me a look. Every time I saw her after that, she'd give me a look, and I could only think, That's Stan from California. I wonder what that look was.
So what, as if he did that as a sort of cheeky on the headmistress. Carry on way.
As if it was a Benny Hill influenced
violin stick. That's what he probably called it. You know that violin stick?
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
I was in that building where you learn stuff.
With a stick to make sounds come out of a wooden thing by Stradivarius. So, okay, Trev, you've got some things to read out, have you?
This is from Esther in Shoreditch. When I was moving into my rented flat with the help of my friend, whilst we were carrying various things up the stairs, he decided to carry a can of paint on top of the box. When he reached the top of the stairs, the paint fell off the box, opened, crashed down the stairs, spewing paint everywhere. An inch-thick magnolia paint on a dark blue carpet hit my leg.
What have I done to deserve this?
Wow, yeah.
Carried on. She ended up in a yellow short pyjama thing in a police station, talking about how she'd had her car broken into and her laptop stolen and her phone and other possessions stolen, and then she really thought, I like it.
I did that as a joke.
What a brilliant reaction.
That's what Matt
She takes
thought.
life on the chin. No, this is what she really thought.
What have I done to deserve this?
Guess who we've got on the phone? It's Chris Peck out of Boy Kill Boy. All right, Chris.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm in a good mood today. You know, we're talking about things going wrong and stuff like that. You must be in a good mood because your single's coming out tomorrow, ain't it?
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. I'm very excited
You
about
don't
it.
sound bothered. Have you been drinking, Peck?
I've just got up, man.
Oh, to do this with us. Thank you, very much.
You're very quiet, Russell. Can you get someone to turn it up? I can't really hear anything.
Oh, is it too quiet for you? Turn it up, man. We can't just holler down Chris Peck's ear holes.
I can just about hear you.
Is that better now?
Yeah, it's a bit better. How are you, man?
Yeah, we're really good today. It's me, Matt, Trevor. Say hello to Chris Peck, everyone.
Hello, Chris Peck.
Hello, Chris Peck. So, Chris, we're talking about things that we thought to ourselves, what have I done to deserve this, as illustrated by Dusty and the Pet Shop Boys?
What was your one?
Mine was I had to go to school wearing my mum's trainers one day because I lost one of my trainers and my trainers were pink and it was humiliating. That was one time.
That explains a few things, mate.
Do you think so?
Well, you know.
What does it explain?
A dandy from the early days, let's say.
I was a dandy, but you know, this being a dandy hasn't extended into sort of a lavender lifestyle. It's just sort of an air of foppishness.
Chris, if you could see the way he's standing
I
at the moment.
remember probably one of the most awkward moments in my life was about 2 years ago. My big brother had a flat like just off Oxford Street, and I had a spare set of keys, and in my lunch breaks from working in the local noodle bar, I used to chuck it back and have my break at his flat. And I was like, you know, bowling around, just had a shower, got in my pants, put my t-shirt out to dry for a couple of hours before I went back to work, and basically the door shut behind me and I was stuck in Oxford Street just in my pants.
Oh.
And all these things rushed through my head. I was like, you know, I'm gonna have to try and punt some money to phone up someone somehow. I was meant to be going back to work, and I was thinking, well, if I phone my brother, you know, I might be able to try and get. I didn't know his number, and I ended up like buzzing up some random people in random flats. I ended up sitting there with like a very peculiar couple consisting of a like 60-year-old man and a 20-year-old boy,
Saucy.
as they were painting each other with like smoking like cigarette holders and just sitting around, and they dressed me and clothed me until my brother came and let me back in.
You must have thought, Chris, while that was going on. Or alternatively, maybe you thought, you could have gone either way. But I think, like, sort of, at least Oxford Street, that's, of course, in London's West End. So if you're hanging around there just wearing pants, there's all manner of ways you could make a few quid, isn't there?
I didn't want to resort to it, but it did cross my mind, you know what I mean? I thought if I just chuck it down a back alley and see how much I can get out of it, but, yeah, that's the last resort, really.
That is the last resort. It's a good attitude, though, Chris, that you've got there.
You know,
resourceful.
I make use of what I've got at the time, you know, that's one of my strong points.
Did you get back to the noodle bar?
Yeah, I managed to get back. My brother came back and rescued me, and I went, you never guess what? And they were like, they didn't, you know, they didn't believe me until I said, I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
Probably because you were there hanging out with Kenneth Halliwell and Joe Alton from the sounds of things, wearing waistcoats and smoking fags.
It's quite bizarre. And sometimes in that part of town as well, it's sort of like you don't want to know who your neighbours are. It was
really
a bit of a weird one like that.
But, you know,
they fed and clothed me. When I needed a neighbour, they were there.
Were they there? Were they there?
Really good.
They were there.
They were there,
Well, that's nice to know. Where are you now, Chris?
I'm on a bus. I'm sorry about the noise. It's like I'm on my tour bus, and we just got up. I went to bed at about 5 o'clock this morning.
What kind of life are you leading? You're in a band. Oh, blimey! What a terrible way to live. 5 o'clock in the morning. Get some sleep, Chris.
I'm feeling a bit rusty, so forgive me if I'm not.
No, you've been sparkling. It's been a lovely anecdote. Good, Chris, will you just humour us? Trevor does a competition. I'm sure he explained to you when he was on the phone he would have taken that opportunity to boast. Have a listen. You have to try and guess what track this is from these sound effects. If you can do it, you're a better man than either myself or Matt Morgan.
Go for it.
Have a listen to this.
Oh, I can't see a thing. Ow! Who are you?
I am Sir Reginald Shoe Feet Nipple Horse.
Oh, stop winking at me.
I'm not winking at you, I can't help it.
Oh, you're hideous.
I am not hideous. My mother was a spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon keep an eye on your girlfriend.
Can you guess what track that is, Chris, from that racket?
Do you know what? I don't know if there's irony attached to this, but I couldn't hear anything at all.
No,
is that
You're no less off than anyone who heard it.
I think just from listening to the sound of silence within the confines of your own mind, you have just as good a chance as anyone else from guessing what that track is, because it's just a delirium of racket.
Okay,
you can just say
is it I Want to Be Your Lover by Prince?
Is it, Trev?
It's close, but no, it's not.
Well done for having a guess, Chris. We're going to get... Do you know what we're going to play now, Chris?
What's that, mate?
We're going to play Susie by Boy Kill Boy, that band you're in. And also, you're on my MTV programme tonight as well, aren't you? Performing. You're on MTV One Leicester Square performing, and I do a little performance
We've
with
got
Chris
to try and
Band.
find someone with a TV, with an MTV 2 box which we can watch. But yeah,
It's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, mate, we had a great time on that show. It was wicked.
I'll phone you up and describe it to you. Chris, thanks very much for your time, mate, and we'll talk to you again soon. Let's listen to Chris's single
Cheers,
out
Chris.
tomorrow, Boy Kill Boy. See you later, Chris Peck.
God bless, mate. Cheers.
Ta-da, bye now.
Bye-bye.
Snow Patrol and Martha Wainwright there. Set the fire to the third bar. Oh, reminds me of my name, that sort of thing does. Listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. We got some wrong answers for Trevor's Sonic Enigma thing. Someone here says, they don't leave their name, is the track Moonlight Shadow by Mike Oldfield. Is it, Trev?
No, it's not.
We've got another message. Not gone to karate today, so turn up any time. Park on the drive if it's empty. That can't be for us, can it?
Don't think so.
Does anyone know anyone that would make... Does that make sense in any way? Perhaps that's a response to Trevor's Sonic Enigma. Not gone to karate today, so turn up at any time. Park on the drive if it's empty. That's about as good a clue.
People send wrong text to us. Because the number's so short. How do they make
640404. Yeah, how's the... Where
Unless
else
they
do they
saved
know?
it in their phone.
I think it's someone who's already texted us, yeah, and they've done it again.
Well, I want to know... I hope they're listening. Oi, can you play some Flowered Up for All the Ducks? Russ, T. Stoned... Blimey, there's lots of weird symbols being sent. Hello, Russell, I'm good mates with your old pal Richard Matthews. If you're into getting hold of him, Richard in Bath. I'd like to talk to Richard Matthews. He was a brilliant person. I once watched him eat chicken with his feet. How about that for a gift?
What? With his feet? What, holding it up to his mouth?
Yeah, he was doing some acting.
Like a plant, osmosis.
Yeah, he didn't use
He's got a
osmosis.
mouth on his soul, yeah.
So Trevor, let's hear your... So we're talking about, like, what have I done to deserve this? We're also trying to get... There's Trevor's Sonic Enigma. I don't know if I can listen to that again. If you...
No, I think... Well, I haven't really given it much thought, but...
Let's play it. We'll talk over it a bit so it's not such an unbearable racket.
Okay, let's do it.
Right, so that's night
I
time.
can't see a thing. Ow!
So it's dark.
Yeah. Then there's a lawnmower engine
I am
goes
Sir
in.
Reginald Shoe Feet
Then Leonard Russell comes in and says,
Horse.
shoe feet nipples.
Stop winking at me.
I'm not winking at you, I can't help it.
You're
It's
hideous.
dark.
Oh, you're
I am not
hideous.
hideous.
Lots
My
of
mother was a
legs.
spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon
Necessarily
keep an eye
legs.
on your
What else do
girlfriend.
spiders have a lot of?
You said, oh, what do spiders have a lot of? Legs.
Yeah, and something else.
If someone goes, what does...
Eyes. They've got a lot
Well
of eyes.
done, Matt.
But spiders are much more famous for having loads of legs than eyes, isn't it? If you think...
That's why there are other clues.
Well, and yeah, and like, what was that? I'm Sir Leonard Rossiter Shoe Feet Nipple Horns. What is that? How is that helping? How is a lawnmower
That
helping?
is a name that a certain type of person gets given.
What, a knight?
Oh, yes, Russ.
Alright, okay, well, let's
Night
just...
with lots of eyes.
Well, you
You've
know...
almost got it.
Let's not leave it all in the gym. Trevor, we've heard earlier your story about drowning mice as a child and then showing them to a vicar to get some sort of thrill. Last week you were boasting about stamping mice to death and how you count and you just gloat over the body
Anyone
count.
who's just joined the show, that's not true. that's an exaggeration.
Next week, Trevor, let's try and not have any mouse-related item to
Or
do with
torture of animals.
I'd be
or
glad.
anything.
Just be glad to.
What's the pike in the bath story, Trev?
When my mum was in hospital in 1988...
Don't always use my mum was in hospital so that we think, oh, poor Trevor and his ill mum.
That's
Because
the backdrop.
frankly, we don't care anymore. All we want to know is why you're so cruel to animals.
It was my turn to cook dinner. Me and my dad used to take turns in cooking dinner.
Ah, how
And
old were you?
It was half term. I was 13 years old.
You shouldn't have been cooking at 13.
I know, but I had to. It was that.
Particularly
our
as his
family
main
was
dish
hanging
was
by a
mouse
thread.
flesh.
so-
What is it for dinner tonight, Trevor? We're going to be eating a rat, Father. Will you kill it first? No, the act of eating it will bring about its death. Come
No,
on,
listen, it was half term, so I went fishing with Chris Hollis, and we caught.
we don't all know who Chris
Can't
Hollis
just drop
is.
that name in.
Is the person I knew at school?
Is that fellow that used to touch you?
Yes.
Not in what sort of way was it? I used to do something a bit
I
weird,
don't want to go
didn't
down there.
he? Well, he did, didn't he?
No, what did he do? You can't just leave that hanging.
He didn't leave it hanging.
Stop it.
He swung off it, didn't he?
He used Trevor as a climbing
One
frame.
anecdote at a time, please, gentlemen.
But Trevor, you've got to clear that up because people...
Later, that'll be another topic. That'll be another
What,
Sunday
another
school.
day?
Because
Yes,
now
it'll be
people will be
another
worried
topic.
about Chris Hollis.
Just
Chris
say,
Hollis
just say, oh, he was...
If people want to know, they can email the show in, and I'll respond.
They can email the show in.
Well, they can record it. and send
Record
it
the
in,
show and say,
and we'll
listen to
play it
this.
out.
You maniac, look. Come, let's hear this story.
I caught a
Come,
pike, okay? A pike is quite a big fish.
What, for
and
your family to... Well, no wonder your mum
Wait,
was
it
ill.
was I caught the pike and I thought, it's my turn to cook. I've stayed fishing too long. I know what I'll do. I'll cook the pike. You can eat pike.
Tomorrow it's blue tack.
So I came back with the pike. I knocked the pike over the head and brought it back.
You knocked it over the head. Look at it trying to skim past that detail. What did you hit it on the head with?
Ironically, it's called a priest. It's a piece of wood, and fishermen call it a priest. I knocked the pike on the head with a priest. Came home. My dad came home from work, and he said, "Have you cooked dinner yet?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, leave it. We'll go and visit your mum, and then we'll come back and have it." And
Why
I
are you
said,
giving
"Dad,
him that voice? You sound bitter. Well, leave it.
it's an older man."
Trevor.
And so what he said, well, I said, "Dad, I've caught a pike. We're going to have pike for dinner. What shall I do? It won't fit in the fridge." And he
This is
said,
nothing like my life.
It's like Huckleberry Finn's life, isn't
I
it?
can't even relate to this.
Then we got on a raft and we sailed off and we had a freed slave with us. It's nonsense.
He said, "Run a bath and put the thing in there to keep it
But
fresh."
you'd already
Put-
struck it on the head.
I know, but he said, I know it's dead, but he said put cold water in there, it'll keep it fresh, otherwise it'll go off. So I put cold water and some ice cubes in the bath.
Why didn't you just put it in the fridge?
Because it doesn't fit in the fridge. 'Cause
How
it's
big is this fish?
like that.
Oh yeah, that's good
not
one
very
for
good
the medium
radio,
of
is it?
radio.
It's
about 2 foot long.
2 foot. We go and visit my mum, we come home from my mum, and I knew something was wrong because my dogs were really agitated and frightened.
I'm sure they were the old time. They got an animal torturer living in the house with them. I bet they didn't rest for a second.
And I
You give
can
him a little
hear-
knock for the old priest.
So I give them a knock with a priest. That calmed them down. Then I made one wear a bra.
Can I stress that I'm an animal lover and that this was... I don't like killing animals. and I don't
You're
like
only
killing
joking,
fish.
dear. Finish this story.
So I can hear a banging sound in the bathroom, and I think, oh no.
You think, oh no?
Oh, no.
Why didn't you think, what have I done to deserve this?
Because that comes later. I just felt, oh no, at this point. I go into the bath, the fish has only gone and come alive again, hasn't it? It's come...
It came alive
It's
again.
come back.
It
I'd
was
only
a
stunned
Lazarus
it.
fish.
The priest had just stunned it. It was alive and flipping around in the bath. It's a big, you know...
So that had scared the dog?
Yeah, so my sister then goes in there, takes pity on it, and she starts...
She takes pity on the fish.
I'm going to go there and take pity on that
We're
fish.
emotionally disturbed because our mummy's in hospital, so she goes in
Don't
there
try and mitigate it.
She starts dropping peanuts in to feed it. I said to Dad...
That's not going to help it.
My dad says, "Where's dinner? Hurry up with the dinner." I said, "Dad, the fish has come alive. What am I going to do?" He says, "You've got to kill it. You have to kill it." And...
You have to kill the fish. What were you
said,
thinking
"Dad,
while
I
all
can't
this was
kill it."
going on? That's what you were thinking,
I
Trevor.
wasn't. I was hungry. I didn't want to do this. So he refused to kill it. He said, "You've got to go and do it." He gave me a proper hammer this time. He said, "Don't muck around
Why
with
did
that."
that make you do it?
Because, I don't know,
So you'd learn.
It was my turn.
Trevor, did this ever happen?
It happened. It's a well-known sort of family legend. I go up there, my sister...
It's a well-known fable in our home.
My sister, I had to be dragged out of the bath. I had to lock myself in the bathroom, and I had to drain the water out of that bathtub, climb in the bathtub with this fish wriggling between between my knees, and then I had to pick up the hammer. My sister is banging on the door, screaming at me. She's given it a name at this point.
What was the name?
I don't know what it's called.
Come on, Trev, give it a name. It's in there, it's in your mind.
And she's banging on the door, screaming that I'm a murderer.
Don't kill
I've got wet
Leroy.
peanuts clinging to my little legs, and I'm banging, bang, bang, bang. Eventually,
And what were you thinking?
I was thinking, do with the other one. I wasn't thinking that at all. I was
No.
close to tears.
I know what you've done to deserve this, Trev. You caught that fish, you put it in the bath, you suggested that it was the meal, you ate it with a priest.
Your dad's role in this story is very bizarre. He goes, "What's for dinner? Come on." "No, we're going now." Kill it with a hammer. He's just...
He sounds like a dad from a fairy tale.
When
Is
you
your
say
dad a
my
baron?
dad, do you mean the bad voice in your head? Is that what you call dad?
Daddy made me kill my daddy. They're going to make a film about you one day, Trev. And I think it'll be along the lines of Psycho.
I think, yeah.
Should we listen to the Rolling Stones happy to just try and drag us out of the quagmire?
Ourselves of all this.
If you want to try and answer Trevor's Sonic Enigma or try and unravel some of the riddles of Trevor's past, text us on 64046 or email the show at russell.6music@bbc.co.uk. But for now, let's listen to the Stones, for heaven's sake.
I like it.
Why Won't You Give Me Your Love by the Zootons out. I like that. I like the video of it. I like the whole thing. I like the fact that that saxophonist goes out with the other lad, Sean. There's a romance in the
song. We
song.
met them. We're really
Yeah.
nice people, that lot.
She doesn't play sax on that record, does she, much?
I don't know, don't she?
I don't hear much sax on.
Yeah, I think there's some saxophone, Trev. I think you've just been omitting it from your mind, probably because you're a bit sexist.
She does other stuff though, doesn't she?
I don't know. Does she?
Maybe.
Listen to this. We've got a text message here. That fish killer household is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Imagine being a neighbour. That's what people think of you.
Our neighbours were very supportive and really good to us.
They probably lived in terror if you were getting all your hands on their family pets. Too many bones in pike. Poles eat pike on Christmas Day. That's like a haiku. Nice. Someone here guessing that your Sonic Enigma, Trev, is This Night Has Opened My Eyes by the Smiths. Is it?
No, it's very close though, but it's not.
Ashley in Swansea, you were close there. That was quite a nice little guess. Well done. Matt, have you got any other what have I done to deserve this style anecdotes from your ridiculous childhood?
There was one when I was in hospital with concussion.
Yeah.
I mean, that was bad in itself, really. And there was a moment where
what had you done to deserve that?
I'd been given a faulty bunk bed by my parents, some sort of test.
Did you fall off it? It collapsed.
From the top of my mum came upstairs because she thought the bunk bed had fallen over, but I'd fallen out from the top onto my head and was up against the wall with my feet in the air, confused, vomiting.
Oh, you poor
stuff
thing.
like that. And then because I had lost my memory temporarily, when the doctors at Casualty said, "Well, how did you do this?" I didn't know because I couldn't remember, and in typical child style, made up a lie because I thought.
I should answer this question.
I was playing football when I was kicked in the head. and you kept doing that torch in your eyes to make sure your pupils are dilated, which they weren't. So I was kept in overnight. Two things happened actually. I went to the toilet. They said, "Oh, you're not allowed to walk around. You have to, if you want to go to the toilet, you have to ask the nurse. She'll put the things round."
I bet you hated that, didn't you?
Because everyone else who had to have the nurse help them go to the toilet, you know, with like a bedpan thing, they didn't pull the curtains round fully.
Right, well, there's a little gap.
So I got up, went to the toilet, and thought, I'll get away with
Obsessed with going to the toilet you were as a child?
What? Okay. Would you like to lay in a hospital bed with the curtains not pulled round fully and have to wee or even into a pan?
Yes, I would, Matt.
Yeah,
in fact, the minute this show ends, I'm off to St Guy's Hospital to do exactly that.
You've been told about that. Yeah, so I got up, went to the toilet and thought, ah, lovely. Pressed what I thought was the light switch.
Yeah.
It was a panic alarm.
Yeah.
Sat down, thought, this is going to be brilliant. And then loads of people burst in.
So
So they said, "Are you alright? Are you alright?" Yeah. "Why are you out of bed?" And I thought to myself,
What have I done to deserve this?
a while to think it.
Yeah,
I
I've noticed the hiatus. What is interesting to me is that like, you were ashamed having people look at you wee, and it would have been much more discreet just to have done the wee in a bedpan, because in the end it ended up being a big panicky wee with loads of nurses and doctors running in.
What have I done to deserve this?
Terrible, really, that
Just
happened to
done
you.
what they told me. Actually, that wasn't even the bit I was going to say.
What is the bit you were going to say?
When my parents came to pick me up, they brought clothes because I'd gone there in my pyjamas, and for some bizarre reason, they brought clothes that I'd never... like, you'd think, oh, I'm going to go and get someone from hospital, I'll take some clothes I've seen them wearing once. They turned up with
For some
clothes...
familiarity.
The T-shirt was my little brother's, the trousers were... You know, I don't know why...
They dressed you up as Rupert the Bear.
These rubbery shoes that I don't know where they came from. And I had to...
Little jelly shoes.
Yeah.
And you'd been all concussed. Perhaps you thought you were living a different life then.
My head clicked when it moved. Something wrong with my neck for a while afterwards. I was still confused and I was dressed as someone else. It didn't really help.
You've never, ever really returned from that place, I don't think. You've been living your life as someone else ever since. I had a concussion incident, right? My dad, before he'd left... abandoned, I like to say, before he built a wardrobe right in the bedroom, and it was held propped up with a Mr. Man book. And I remember seeing that Mr. Man book.
Good at DIY.
It was brilliant. It incorporated Roger Hargreaves' Mr. Tickles work into a cupboard.
B&Q often sell out with Mr. Man books on a bank holiday weekend.
Yeah. Oh, Christ, I've got to build a vanity dresser. For heaven's sake, get some Little Miss Naughty copies. So I saw that Mr. Man book. I was excited about the prospect of reading it, plucked it out. The whole
that as a trap.
It was essentially a trap. It fell apart. A bit of the cupboard fell into my skull. I had to go
into your skull or onto it?
Onto, I suppose. There were no gaps in my skull with cupboards in them.
You had a soft spot with a great big bit of wardrobe in it.
It was ridiculous. And through there I could reach Narnia, and I'd often at night recline and just, whilst in the hospital and think, you know, essentially, what the hell have I done to deserve that? I would think to myself, yeah, terrible business. Hey, should we listen to Johnny Cash, Sons and Daughters?
Yes.
And after that, let's talk to Noel Gallagher, shall we? And,
yes.
And I think, and perhaps someone might have got Trevor's Sonic Enigma right, that'd be
Someone's
good.
got it right.
Well, I don't know, someone wants to have a really jolly good guess. We'll have a go at that.
So listen to Johnny Cash then.
Johnny Cash, Sons and Daughters. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. Right, we've got some more answers for Trevor's baffling Sonic Enigma. Here, one to another by the charlatans. Is that right, Trev?
I don't get that at all. I think that's an absurd answer.
Trevor, you are in no position to be judging other people's mental processes after you spent your childhood smashing fish and mice to death and now set up competitions that could only be understood by the loonies. Listen to this one. This is from Dewey Nyman, and they've sent an email, and under subject they've put Trevor's Psycho Sound Contest thing. That's what they've called it. Greetings, Russell and the team. I think I have it. Could it be R.E.M's Night Swimming? Please tell me I'm remotely close, as the sound effects were no clue at all. It was only the clues you gave away. Dewey from Luton.
All right, Dewey, you're remotely close, with the emphasis being on remotely.
Trevor, again, why are you attacking Dewey? I think that
Well, why
Dewey...
is he attacking me? He's just
Because
lazy.
you're competent.
He's not lazy. He's doing his best.
He's not. I don't think that's his
Just the
best,
bad
Matt. If
tools
that's his
you've given
best,
us.
no. he's
Because, Trevor, that astonishing clue that you said... Well, let's listen to it once more, and then we've got Richard on the line who wants to have a guess.
Oh, I can't see a thing. Ow! Who are you?
I am Sir Reginald Shoe Feet
That's my favourite bit.
Nipple Horse.
That sound like a lawnmower as
Oh,
well.
stop winking at me.
I'm not winking at you, I can't help it.
Oh, you're hideous.
I am not hideous. My mother was a spider. Now stick with me and we'll soon keep an eye on your girlfriend.
That is what you get if you get a man who killed trout for an hobby as a child to do a competition. We've got Rich on the line. Rich, do you think you know the answer to Trevor's Sonic Enigma, mate?
Yeah, it's The Matters 1,000 Eyes.
Trev, is that the right answer?
Of course it is. Well done. Rick.
Congratulations, well done, Rich. Yes, well done, Rich. Rich, how did you begin to decipher that baffling rhubarb?
I think it was the night thing that gave it away.
Right, it was Sir Reginald Pipsqueak Nipples and all that.
Then the spider thing. So it had lots of legs, lots of eyes.
Right, so okay, so it was brilliant deduction by
Quite
you.
clear then, wasn't it, Rick?
Rich, you don't even know Rich's name. The clue for that was he said his name's Rich, and you're calling him Rick. It's a good job you don't enter your own competitions, Trev. So, so you got it. Did you get it from me and Matt's retrospective clues?
Sorry, you're very faint.
I know. I'm sorry. We're not very good with sound effects or audio at this radio station. But aside from those two areas, we're brilliant. So, how did you get it? Was it from the clues that came later, or was it from Trev's baffling soundscape?
It was from the first hearing, really.
Well, congratulations, Rich, from the first hearing.
Thank you very much, Rich. Thank you.
Rich, that's incredibly vindicating for Trevor. We're going to give him another chance to do that competition next week. You get some brilliant CDs and stuff. What sort of CDs is Rich going to get? There'll just be, you know, stuff gets sent into radio stations. There'll be a lot of that. Also, where do you live, mate?
Sorry, Scarborough.
Oh, so you can come and see us next week.
With my partner Susie, who emailed you about the pillow thing earlier on.
Which pillow thing?
Pillowcase instead of a...
Oh, the pillow. That was a good one. Oh, thanks for that. Hey, you two can come down and visit us next week if you want, and you can have loads of records.
We'll be up for that.
All right, well, come down if you want. Have a chat to our producer afterwards, and you can come and visit us. It would be lovely to see you, and then you and Trevor obviously got a lot in common because you're the only two people on Earth that understand that competition. So, all right, what we're gonna listen to now then?
We're gonna go to the news now, but we'll listen to Night of a Thousand Eyes after the news.
After the news, Night of a Thousand Eyes, Bobby V. Congratulations, Rich. See you next week when you come down. You'll be sent some CDs in the meantime, unless Matt don't bother to get any. Let's have some news. Bobby V, The Night Has 1,000 Eyes. So clear and tangible when he does it. When Trevor tries to describe that song, it's like a sort of audio Sudoku. Did you enjoy listening to that, Trev?
It's one of my favourite tracks. I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, didn't it? The stuff you select as well.
What
Moon River last week.
Pardon?
What year is that from?
I think it's from 1964, but I couldn't swear to it. It could be 1962.
Couldn't you swear to it, Trevor? Would you like to commit to that?
I don't know.
What's the most recent Sonic Enigma we've had?
The most recent, they've all been stuck in the 70s.
Stuck in the past,
yeah.
A bit like you.
Little bit like you.
No, I don't believe that. I think we live in a postmodern world now and nobody comes from anywhere.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a very easy way of justifying dressing up like Alan Bennett.
And I deny my roots if it involved all that fish death.
Thank you, yeah. Cheers, Mark. Mark's given us some emails here.
Oh.
Jesus. You're either all exaggerating or you all had really bad parents making you kill fish, buying you defective beds. Where does it end? From Addy. Yeah, no, well, actually, we've got good parents, all of us, actually, haven't we?
Parents, yeah.
We've all been really lucky, but I think we bought that stuff on ourselves. Is the Pike story a song title, or is it the ramblings of a sick mind? That's Pete the Bedroom Man. Pete the Bedroom Man doesn't even know what reality is anymore because of you, Trev. You've blurred the boundaries. Poor old Pete. No wonder he seeks solace in these affairs. Right, we've got an email here. It's from Louise Hamilton. One night in the mid-90s, that's nice, right in the middle of the 90s it was, me and a load of friends from a local girls' grammar school went to a big night. I hope that this was also, that she was at a girls' grammar school as well. I hope that she's not, like, 43 and hangs out with grammar school girls.
We'll find out.
It's perfectly normal.
We went to, all us grammar school girls, yeah, we went to a big nasty club in Essex, where I'm from, to celebrate our A-level results being handed out. I mean, and what a celebrate in Essex, if you get A-levels, you might as well be made mayor. A night full of joyful celebration ended in me becoming convinced my girlfriend was trying to chat up someone else. Getting into a fight. Oh, he's a fella, actually. I'm confused.
He's a fella, isn't he?
Or
it could be lesbian
love.
Might
be gay.
Lesbian love.
Let's not. Hey, fair enough. A night of joyful celebration ended in me becoming convinced my girlfriend was trying to chat up someone else, getting into a fight about it in the toilet, and punching her, slamming the eye, bursting her eyebrow, blood pouring everywhere. I was overcome with remorse, tore off my top, and dragged her through the club to the cloakroom, clad only in a skirt and bra. The staff correctly identified us as screaming psychopaths and shoved us out the side door. Difficult as it was to get a cab, we made it to Broomfield A&E, where my poor girlfriend was asked by the triage nurse if she wanted to press charges, and had to admit that it was the hysterical, half-naked harpy holding a spotty, blood-stained polyester rag to her head that had in fact assaulted her. At this point, I can only think she must have thought to herself... Sounds like a lovely relationship. I hope they're still together.
Person a wife-beating transvestite?
I don't know.
No, it's like they're just a couple of girls.
Can I just make a correction there? It was actually the triage nurse.
Triage?
Not the triad nurse.
The triad nurse, I'd be more worried about that. Yes. They'll stop at nothing. You don't want to cross one of them triad nurses, blimey.
Yeah.
They might chop your finger off.
Yeah. Crikey, I'm worried about some of this content. Afternoon, gents. Years ago, I got a phone call from a DJ at a local radio station telling me that some friends of mine had put my name forward to take part in a live quiz. Being game for a lark, I agreed to take part and was told by the fella on the other end of the line that the station would phone me back 10 minutes later. 10 minutes later, they did indeed phone, and I found myself being transmitted live on radio. To win the quiz, all I had to do was answer a simple question. Where are the next Olympics going to be held? Asked the DJ. My mind went blank. The seconds were ticking away. I was getting all sweaty, so I just blurted out the first thing that came into my head. Or, as in fact, it was actually Inverness that they spluttered. Burying my head in my hands moments later and hoping that no one knew I'd actually heard the programme. The DJ, laughing, told me I was wrong, thanked me for taking part. I wish the ground would swallow me up. Anyway, late that night I was at a party when suddenly the music stopped and the unrecognisable sound of my own voice boomed out over the stereo. The entire debacle was then played from start to finish, whilst everyone present just pointed and laughed, and I stood there thinking... It turns out it weren't even a real radio show or a real DJ. It was a friend of a friend who had done the whole thing just to tape and play back at my expense to a house full of strangers. Take care. That's from Andy. Good that Andy thought Good that Andy thought that the Olympics were taking place in Inverness. Otherwise, that whole prank could have fallen rather flat.
Yeah, it's good that he's got such friends that are dedicated to humiliating him like that.
Yeah. Oh, and look, who's this that's turned up? This is exciting news. It's Noel Gallagher is here in the studio. Well, that's exciting because I was beginning to think that Noel Gallagher was an unreliable man who didn't keep to his word. But here is Noel Gallagher. How are you, Noel?
Manchester.
Well, Noel, we thought you were unreliable, but you're not, are you?
No, I'm here.
Thank God you kept to your word.
Mad for it.
Why were you so late, Noel?
Because I just wanted you to really want me to come, and then I thought, because I'm definitely coming.
Yeah, because for a minute there we thought, oh, Noel Gallagher said he was going to come, promised he was going to come, and then when it actually came to it, he never turned up. What an unreliable man Noel Gallagher
but
is.
here I am, you know.
Yeah, here you are. Oh, it's brilliant. Is there anything you want to say? Oh, God, so many questions.
It's amazing, yeah.
Trev, have you got any questions?
Blurred, is it true that you finally admit that they are a far superior band to Oasis?
Oh, yeah, come on. They're brilliant, aren't they?
They were better all along.
Songwriting, you know, better chords.
Yeah, them chords.
Those chords that they invented,
some of those were much better than your chords, weren't they?
Yeah.
And also, what else? Saying that thing about taking drugs was like having a cappuccino. That was insanity to come out with that, wasn't it?
I know, it was stupid.
You've been a bit boastful all these years, haven't you?
Been a real idiot.
At least you've turned up now, Noel. That's the main thing. Should we play Supersonic to celebrate your arrival?
Yeah, I wrote this song in the bath when I was playing with my toys.
That's the kind of thing we've learned to expect from you, Noel, but at least you're here now. That's the main thing. Let's listen to Supersonic.
Hope you like it.
Well, we'll try to, Noel. You're listening to Russell Brand on 6 Music. That's Supersonic by Oasis. We've been joined by Noel Gallagher. To think, Trev, you were saying that Noel was unreliable and
Well, he's cut it fine, hasn't he? But yeah.
But at least he's here now. That's the main thing.
Brilliant, yeah.
Hello, boys. I brought some Rice Krispie cakes that I made.
Nice, thanks for bringing those, Noel.
These are really nice.
Unusual. It's odd that you that chose to dress in that ball gown, Noel. How come you're in a ball gown?
Comfortable like this.
And what's that you're wearing underneath your ball gown?
PE knickers.
Lovely, you look really nice. So, no, that song Supersonic, is it true that you wrote that about your then boyfriend Larry Grayson?
Yeah, it was, he bought me a My Little Pony for my birthday and I was chuffed.
So you wrote him Supersonic?
You really wrote that song?
Well,
because I heard that actually you and Liam are a little bit like Minnie Vanilli, and it's actually
it's Paul Gallagher, the chuckling puppeteer behind Oasis.
Our sort of chubby middle brother. He's or bigger brother or something.
Yeah,
I can't remember my family.
Yeah.
Changed since I've been famous. But he writes all the songs.
Right.
And
Blimey, what a revelation!
So I bet he thinks whenever he hears an Oasis song on the radio,
he must think to himself. He must, mustn't he?
He does think that, yeah.
He does think that. Obviously, though, a lot of your lyrics are much more camp than the Pet Shop Boys and Dusty Springfield.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the story. He rejects that. He says it's, you know, when I'm standing there in front of that stadium of lads,
yeah,
and I just want to be at home in my little dress and my cakes and brushing the tail of my Little Pony, I just think to myself,
What have I done to deserve this?
Yeah, well, it's fair enough, Noel, but at least you've used this as a platform to come clean. Noel will also be appearing on One Leicester Square tonight on MTV, or will he? You know, we never know if he'll turn up or not. Let's have a listen to Dirty Pretty Things now. The show will be over soon, but so we might as well enjoy Bang Bang You're Dead. Let's have a listen.
okay.
Wonder stuff, size of the cow. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. I'm here with Trevor Locke, Matt Morgan and Noel Gallagher. Noel, what are you crying for?
Trevor gave me Chinese burn.
Blimey, it was only a little Chinese burn, Noel. I didn't realise you were so delicate and effeminate. Why is that?
It's made my accent go funny.
It hasn't it? It's changed your accent. It's made your accent less realistic. I want to send lots of love to Jackie at Warwick University. Be strong, Jackie. Your life will be all right. Everything will be okay to you. You all right, Trev?
I'm all right. I'm just hoping Jackie's going to be all right.
Jackie's going to be fine. Don't worry about Jackie. So, it's been a nice show, hasn't it, today?
It's been a good show.
Still Noel Gallagher.
Don't be Noel Gallagher anymore. Do you know what? I don't think we were fooling anyone with that, to tell the truth. It was actually a bit of brilliant satire. Have you enjoyed the show, Matt?
Yes, I've had a lot of fun.
I'm a bit worried that people think that our childhoods were... Let's clear up. We had nice childhoods.
People think we lied about Noel Gallagher.
Don't worry about that. What do you mean lied about Noel Gallagher? Yeah, we said to her, right, what happened was, Noel Gallagher said he was going to come, and then he never came. That's, you know, what can we do about it?
Didn't I predict that at the top of the show?
Oh, Trevor, don't try to spread his arms like Christ to go, didn't I predict that at the beginning of the show?
Like Christ, but if that's the conclusion that you want to draw, I mean...
I don't want to draw the conclusion that you're like Christ.
Well, I've been...
Oh, yeah, I remember that...
You've treated me like the Jewish authorities treated him.
Wasn't it from the Gospel of Luke, where it said, and though Christ smashed up some animals for a laugh?
Well, 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He
did, but he did that out of love, Trev. He didn't kill a pike.
I did that out of love to feed my family. I was feeding my hungry family.
See, we don't need Noel Gallagher who talk like this.
Oh, with this kind of banter, who needs credible rock stars to lift up listenership? We're going to force Noel Gallagher will be on the show next week.
All these impressions are going to get worse and worse.
Oh my!
We'll drag him through the gutter.
We will satirise him to the point where he daren't leave his house to buy more trainers. Okay, so well, thanks very much for listening to us. Have you got anything you want to add, Matt Morgan?
No, I'm all done.
Trevor Locke, have you got anything to say?
I just want to say that I love animals and I think you should treat them kindly.
Keep saying it, Trevor. You might even start believing it yourself. Thanks everyone that's contributed to this fantastic show. Music Week coming up. That's going to be brilliant, obviously. If we like that, we'll just sit around and listen to that, shall we?
Yeah. Yes.
Got nothing else to do. Perhaps go and look at that elephant thing that's rampaging around London. I'm scared of that thing. We'll be back next week. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps Noel Gallagher will turn up. Who knows? It's a mystery to me. But for now, Personality Crisis, New York Dolls.
Yeah, rock.
Oh, yeah, woo, rock.